What's up guys, this is Alec. In today's episode I'm planting a mulberry tree in the ground, but this is no regular mulberry tree. This tree has been bird root for the past 9 months. Yes, I took it out of the ground with the intention of planting it right away, but I forgot about it. I got lazy like most of you out there, and guess what? 9 months later, it's still alive. This tree is begging for me to plant it in the ground, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna be giving you a few tips what to do with your trees before transplanting, and most importantly, how to take care of them after you put them in the ground. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so my mulberry tree has been sitting in this spot right here for the past 9 months. This is my shade structure, and it's getting watered by overhead watering. So what have I done special to this tree?
Nothing.
Yes, absolutely nothing. I took it out of the ground with the intention of replanting it right away last winter when it was dormant. And I just brought it over here, left it, forgot about it, got lazy, and guess what? This tree is begging to be planted in the ground. Anyways, let me go ahead and take this tree out of here so that way I can plant it in the ground. So the hardest part about planting for me right now is finding a spot. So let's go ahead and find a spot in all this space right here where to plant it. All right guys, so I think I found a spot. It's very hard to actually find an area to plant, especially when you have so much space open. It just gets complicated. But anyways, I'm just gonna stick it in the ground. I don't care. So this is my shade structure right here. It's gonna go in here. This tree is probably gonna grow taller than the structure, and eventually it's gonna shade this area right here. So I think that's a good area. I'm not sure. Oh well, that's where it's gonna go right now. I would have planted it over there, but I think I'm gonna be extending this structure down. So I really don't want any big trees on the back side, simply because that's where my water main line is, and this tree has a taproot system, so I don't want it to damage the water main. So how do you know if your tree is dead or alive? You can check if your tree is dead or alive by doing the scratch test, or you can bend the branches around and see if they actually bend. If they are brittle and they break, well, that area of the tree is dead. But a better way to check is to check the cambium layer. How do you do that? Well, what you do is you can use your fingernail or you can use a knife, and you can just peel off a little bit of the bark. And I don't know if you can tell or not, that is dying back. It's not fully dry, but it's not fully green either. You're looking for green. So what you do is you keep going down the branch. Let's do another area. Okay, so that area it's a little greener. You can tell. Let's go down. Let's go to the main trunk and see what the main trunk looks like. All right, so you can see that it's green. So this tree is alive. So if you have a tree and you think it's dead, check it that way, and that will tell you if there is a chance for your tree to survive. Now let me show you the root ball, guys. Like I said, it has been 9 months. This tree has been sitting above ground, and the only reason it has survived this long is because of my automatic overhead watering. That's all I've done. Check the root ball out. I got grass growing on it. But look, most of the roots are dry, and when I actually dug it out of the ground, I easily glease 75% of the root ball. And you can tell the taproot over here, and then the deep roots, I completely cut them off. And even then, the tree is still alive. So, when transplanting a tree, what do we need? First, we need to dig a hole. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So how big of a hole to dig? Well, you just gotta make it bigger than the root ball of the plant. As you can see, this hole is plenty big for this plant, so we should not have any issues. Now, what else can we actually do in order to assure our trees' survivability? Well, most people out there are gonna tell you, you need some fish emulsion in there, you need some worm castings, some acetylite, you gotta sprinkle some mycorrhiza in there, some micro juices, and guess what? Once everything is done, you gotta water your tree with P1 because if you don't, your tree is going to die. So guess what I'm gonna do today, guys? I'm not doing anything, just sticking the tree in the ground. This tree has been in open air for 9 months. Do you really think I need any of that stuff in the soil to make sure my tree lives? Look at all the bugs that I got in the soil. Roly-polies. Look at that. They're everywhere. They're crawling everywhere. Look at that. The entire soil is full of them. And look at my property. It's the desert. The only thing I have done to this area here, it gets overhead water from my trees over here. That's it. That's all I've done. I have never amended the soil. This property hasn't really had water for years. But look how beautiful my soil looks.
Oh my God!
Look how it's alive. Them little guys are the ones feeding your plants. Not any of that junk people tell you to plant, to put in the ground for you to be successful. This is free. All I had to do was just water and life will come to the soil. Now, one thing I'm making sure is I'm trying to compact the soil around the root ball as much as possible. Not because of air gaps and then the air is gonna kill my root system. Come on, it's been in open air for months. That's not gonna kill my root system right now. The main reason I'm doing it is simply because I don't want my tree to tip over in the wind. It's getting windy. There it is, guys. Super easy to do. It only took me a few minutes. Yes, I did cheat by digging a hole in seconds with my auger over here. But other than that, guys, that's it. So what's the next thing that you gotta do in order to help your tree recover? Well, this tree, it has everything that it needs in order to survive. It has survived this long without me doing anything. And now it actually has a way to root itself in the ground and take care of itself. What I always recommend when transplanting trees is to shade the tree for at least the first summer. Even if your tree is meant to take the full sun, just shade it. Get some shade cloth and drape it over the tree, or build a little shade structure. I'm too lazy to build a shade structure, and I know this tree is a trooper. It wants to live, and I already done everything that it needs in order for this tree to survive. But this doesn't take me any longer, so I'm just gonna go ahead and drape some shade cloth over it. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, this tree was underneath the shade structure. If it had been exposed to direct sunlight, it will definitely have died here in my area, simply because I'm in the freaking desert. It's hot in here. So it would have dried the tree out even if I gave it water, and it would have definitely died for sure. But since it was underneath my shade structure, that helped the tree survive this long. Just like you. If you're struggling, where are you gonna live longer? In the shade or in the sun? Oh no! So there you go. And the reason I'm giving it water is to settle the soil around the root ball. And then what I'll do is I'll come back tomorrow and then I'll just pack it back up, and then that should be good enough. Now, how do you water this tree? Well, the way you're gonna water this tree is you're gonna follow my finger method. And that is, you stick your finger in the soil. If it's during the growing season, every 12 hours, all the way down. And then you're gonna check the tip of your finger. If you feel moisture on the tip of your finger, well, you don't water. Wait another 12 hours and check again until you no longer feel moisture on the tip of your finger, and then you can go ahead and water. That will tell you how often to water your tree the first summer in the ground. After that, this tree has a taproot system, it has a deep root system, so you're gonna have to deep water it after it has been in the ground for at least a year. So how long is this tree going to take to recover? Well, this tree will easily take, I would say, 6 months to a year to recover. Winter is coming in just a few months from now, and I do not expect anything out of this tree until next spring. when it goes back into dormancy and then wakes back up. And then I know for sure it's gonna look beautiful and have a nice canopy next year. Other than that, usually after transplanting trees, gifting, I would say at least a year for them to recover. And it doesn't matter what stuff you put in the soil or anything else you do to the tree for the tree to recover faster. The only thing you can do is make sure you water when dry, and if possible, if your tree is in full sun, go ahead and shade it, even if it's meant to take the full sun. This tree right here is an everbearing mulberry, and the reason I took it out of my other property is because I already have one in the ground, and I just didn't need two. And I don't like killing plants, so what I do is I rehome them. I don't kill plants. And that's it, guys. As always, if you like the video, don't forget to like it. If you have any questions, comment below. And as always, I will see you next time.